The cell membrane is made of proteins and lipids and allows water, oxygen, glucose, electrolytes, steroids, and alcohol to pass through it. On the outside of the cell membrane are receptors that bind to chemical messengers, such as hormones sent by other cells. These are the chemical signals by which your cells communicate with each other. The cytoplasm is a clear, gelatinous substance containing cytosol and crowded with different organelles. Organelles are small structures that carry out special metabolic tasks. The chemical processes that occur in the cell. Organelles are small structures that carry out special metabolic tasks. The chemical processes that occur in the cell. Examples of organelles are nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex or apparatus, mitochondria, nucleolus, ribosomes, lysosomes. These are all defined and their functions detailed in the succeeding pages. Did you know the nucleus directs all activities of the cell? The nucleolus manufactures ribosomes, which manufacture protein. Metabolism, the sum of the physical and chemical processes in a cell. Anabolism, constructive metabolism. Constructive metabolism. Metabolism, the sum of the physical and chemical processes in a cell. Anabolism, constructive metabolism, the buildup from simple substances to complex substances needed in the cell. Catabolism, destructive metabolism, the breakdown of complex substances to release energy. Organelles. The nucleus is the largest organelle and located between the cell membrane and the cytoplasm. It directs all the activities of the cell. Most of your cells have one nucleus. Red blood cells have none. And some liver cells and muscle cells contain many nuclei. The nucleus is surrounded by its own membrane, which has small openings called pores. Every minute, hundreds of molecules pass through the pores. These molecules include the raw materials for the DNA and ribonucleic synthesis. Include the raw materials for the deoxyribonucleic acid DNA and ribonucleic acid RNA synthesis that is ongoing inside of the nucleus. 46 molecules of DNA and their associated proteins are packed into each nucleus as thin strands called chromatin. When cells divide, the chromatin condenses to form 46 densely coiled bodies called chromosomes. Chromatin. In meaning substance, chemical, compound. Chromat meaning color. Substance composed of DNA that forms chromosomes during cell division. Chromosome. Some meaning body, chromo meaning color. Body in the nucleus that contains DNA and genes. Cytoplasm. Plasma meaning something formed, cyto meaning cell, clear gelatinous substance that forms the substance of a cell except for the nucleus. Cytosol. Sol meaning solution, cyto meaning cell, large liquid portion of the cell. Deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribose meaning sugar, nucleic acid meaning protein. Source of hereditary characteristics found in chromosomes. Electrolyte. Light meaning soluble, electro meaning electric. Ooh, take that out. Substance that, when dissolved in a suitable medium, forms electrically charged particles. Hormone. Greek for set in motion, and hormonal is an adjective. Al is pertaining to. Chemical formed in one tissue or organ and carried by blood to stimulate or inhibit a function of another tissue or organ pertaining to a hormone. These are just to filter out blue light, and I put on like lotion and made them greasy. I feel like they're a little smudgy. It's just not the proper way to clean your glasses either. You should definitely use the glasses wrap. I'm gonna go find it. Intracellular. R meaning pertaining to, intra meaning within, cellule meaning small cell. Within the cell, intracellular. Membrane, Latin for parchment. Membranous. Us meaning pertaining to. Thin layer of tissue covering a structure or cavity pertaining to a membrane.
Metabolism.
Metabolism. Ism meaning condition. Metabol meaning change. And then we have the adjective metabolic. Ick meaning pertaining to, change. The constantly changing physical and chemical processes occurring in the cell pertaining to metabolism. Nucleus. Latin for kernel. Nuclei plural. Nuclear. R as in pertaining to. Nuclei meaning nucleus. Functional center of a cell or structure pertaining to the nucleus. Steroid. Oid meaning resemble. Ster meaning solid. Steroidal is the adjective. Large family of chemical substances found in many drugs, hormones, and body components. Synthesis. Syn meaning together. Thesis to arrange. A process of building a compound from different elements. Ribosomes are organelles involved in the manufacture of protein from simple materials. This process is called anabolism. Each nucleus contains a nucleolus. Ribosomes are organelles involved in the manufacture of protein from simple materials. This process is called anabolism. Each nucleus contains nucleolus, a small, dense body composed of RNA and protein. It manufactures ribosomes that migrate through the nuclear membrane pores into the cytoplasm. The endoplasmic reticulum is the organelle that manufactures steroids. The endoplasmic reticulum is an organelle that manufactures steroids, cholesterol, and other lipids and proteins. It also detoxifies alcohol and other drugs. Lysosomes are organelles that are the garbage disposal units of the cell. They digest and dispose of worn out organelles as part of the process of cell death. Lysosome. They also digest foreign particles and bacteria. Mitochondria, mitochondrion singular, are the powerhouses of the cells. They extract energy by breaking down compounds such as glucose and fat. This process is called catabolism. The energy is used to do the work of the cell, for example, to make a muscle contract. Did you know different tissues are made of specialized cells with unique materials around them that are manufactured by the cells? Tissues. The knee contains examples of all the different major groups of tissue and will be used to illustrate the relation of structure to function in the different tissues. Tissues hold your body together. The many tissues of your body have different structures for specialized functions. The different tissues are made of similar cells with unique materials around them that are manufactured by the cells. Histology is the study of the structure and the function of tissues. The 4 primary tissue groups are outlined in Table 3.1. Connective tissue. The bind, support, protect, fill spaces, and store fat. Widely distributed throughout the body, for example, in blood, bone, cartilage, and fat. Epithelial tissue, protect, secrete, absorb, excrete. Cover body surface, cover and line internal organs and compose glands. Muscle tissue, movement. Its primary function is movement. Location attached to bones in the walls of hollow internal organs and in the heart. Nervous tissue. Transmit impulses for coordination, sensory reception, motor actions. Location, brain, spinal cord, nerves. Word analysis and definition, cells and tissues.
Anabolism.
Anabolism. Ism meaning condition, anabol or anabol, buildup. The buildup of complex substances in the cell from simpler ones as a part of metabolism. Oh. Carbohydrate. 8 composed of, pertaining to carbo meaning carbon and katabol meaning breakdown. Group of organic food compounds that include sugar, starch, glycogen, and cellulose.
Catabolism.
Catabolism is a meaning condition. Katabol meaning breakdown. breakdown of complex substances into simpler ones as a part of metabolism.
Centriole.
Centriole, Greek for center. A paired organelle lying in cytoplasm near the nucleus.
Epithelium.
Epithelium. Meaning structure. Epi meaning upon. Thel meaning nipple.
Epithelial.
Epithelial. Al meaning pertaining to. Epithelium, tissue that covers surfaces or lines cavities. Epithelial, pertaining to epithelium. Excrete, Latin for separate. Excretion is the noun. To pass waste products of metabolism out of the body. Removal of waste products of metabolism out of the body. Histology, logi, study of histo, tissue. Histologist, one who studies. Structure and function of cells, tissues, and organs. Histologist, specialist in the structure and function of cells, tissues, and organs.
Lysosome.
Lysosome, some meaning body. Lyse, to decompose. Enzyme that digests foreign material and worn out cell components. Mitochondrion, eon meaning action, condition. Mito meaning thread. Mitochondria is plural. Mito meaning thread, chondri meaning cartilage, rib, granule. Organelle that generates, stores, and releases energy for cell activities. Protein. The -ine suffix meaning substance, chemical compound. Prot meaning first. Class of food substances based on amino acids.
Ribosome.
Ribosome, so meaning body, ribo like rib. Structure in the cell that resembles amino acids into protein. Secrete, Latin, release, secretion, noun, to produce a chemical substance in a cell and release it from the cell. Connective tissues in the knee joint. The knee joint provides an excellent example of how different types of tissues form the knee joint to allow for functions of walking, bending, and running. These tissues and roles are listed below. Bone is the hardest connective tissue due to the presence of calcium mineral salts, mostly calcium phosphate. Cells that make up bone tissue are osteoblasts, deposit bone matrix in concentric patterns around a central canal containing a blood vessel. As a result, every osteoblast is close to a supply of nutrients from the blood. Osteocytes are former osteoblasts that maintain the bone matrix. Osteoclasts dissolve the bone matrix to release calcium and phosphate into the blood when these chemicals are needed elsewhere. Cartilage has a flexible rubbery matrix that allows it as a meniscus to function as a shock absorber and as a gliding surface where two bones meet to form a joint. Cartilage also forms the shape of your ear, the tip of your nose, and your larynx. Cartilage has very few blood vessels and heals poorly or not at all. Cells of cartilage include chondroblasts, which deposit the cartilage matrix, chondrocytes, which are former chondroblasts that maintains the cartilage matrix, and fibers, which give the cartilage strength and flexibility. Ligaments are strips or bands of fibrous connective tissue. Cells called fibroblasts form a gelatinous jelly-like matrix, are closely packed parallel collagen fibers. These fibers provide the strength the ligament needs. Their blood supply is poor, so they do not heal well without surgery. Tendons are thick, strong ligaments that attach muscles to bones. The joint capsule of the knee is attached to the tibia and femur, encloses the joint cavity, and is made of thin, collagenous, fibrous connective tissue. It is strengthened by fibers that extend over it from the ligaments and muscles surrounding the knee joint. These features are common to most joints. The inner surface of many joint capsules is lined with synovial membrane, which secretes synovial fluid. This fluid is a slippery lubricant retained in the joint cavity by the capsule. It has a texture similar to raw egg white. It makes joint movement almost friction-free and distributes nutrients to the cartilage on the joint surfaces of the bone. Muscle tissue stabilizes the knee joint. Extensions of the tendons of the quadriceps femoris, the large muscle in front of the thigh, and of the semimembranous muscle on the rear of the thigh are major stabilizers. The muscles themselves respectively extend and flex the joint. The structure and functions of these and other skeletal muscles are described in Chapter 14. Nervous tissue extensively supplies all of the knee structures, which is why a knee injury is excruciatingly painful. The structure and functions of nervous tissue are described in Chapter 9. Okay. Osteocytes, osteoblasts, osteoclasts. Connective tissue and anatomy. Capsule, ule meaning little, caps meaning box, capsular adjective, R meaning pertaining to, definition, fibrous tissue, layers surrounding a joint or some other structure. Pertaining to a capsule, capsular. Cartilage, Latin for gristle. Non-vascular, firm connective tissue found mostly in joints. Chondroblast, blast meaning germ cell, chondro meaning cartilage. Cartilage forming cell, chondroblast. Chondrocyte, cyte meaning cell. Chondro meaning cartilage, chondrocyte, cartilage cell. Collagen, gen is produced and form, colla is glue. Definition, major protein of connective tissue, cartilage, and bone. Fibroblast, blast meaning germ cell, fibro meaning fiber. Cell that forms collagen fibers. Matrix, Latin matter, meaning mother. Substance that surrounds cells is manufactured by the cells and holds them together. Nutrient, ent meaning end result. Nutri meaning nourish. a substance in food required in normal physiologic function. Osteoblast. Blast meaning germ cell. Osteo is bone. Bone forming cell. Osteoclast, clast meaning break, osteobone, bone removing cell. Osteocyte, cyte meaning cell, osteobone, bone maintaining cell. Synovia. Note, the fluid resembles the white of an egg. Ia meaning pertaining to, syn together, and ove meaning egg, pertaining to the fluid in a joint. Synovial, pertaining to synovial fluid and synovial membrane. Tendon. Synov meaning synovial membrane. Tendon, Latin for sinew, fibrous band that connects muscles to bone. Organ and organ systems. Organs. An organ is a structure composed of several tissues that work together to carry out specific functions. For example, the skin is an organ that has different tissues in it, such as epithelial cells, hair, nails, and glands. Each organ has well-defined anatomic boundaries separating it from adjacent structures that performs a particular function. The different organs in an organ system are usually interconnected. For example, the urinary organ system, the organs are the kidneys, ureters, bladder, and urethra, and are all connected as they work to eliminate fluid waste from the body. Organ system, integumentary. Skin, hair, major organs, skin, hair, nails, sweat glands, sebaceous glands. Major function, protect tissues, regulate body temperature, support sensory receptors. Your skeletal organ system, bones, ligaments, cartilages, tendons, provide framework, protect soft tissues, provide attachments for muscles, produce blood cells, store inorganic salts. Muscular, muscles, major organ muscles. Cause movements, maintain posture, produces body heat. Nervous, brain, spinal cord, nerves, sense organs. Major function, detect changes, receive and interpret sensory information, stimulate muscles and glands. Endocrine, glands that secrete hormones, pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid, adrenal, pancreas, ovaries, testes, pineal, thymus. Major functions, control metabolic activities of organs and structures. Cardiovascular organ system, major organs, heart and blood vessels. Move blood and transport substances throughout body. Lymphatic, lymph vessels and nodes, thymus, spleen. Return tissue fluid to the blood, carry certain absorbed food molecules, defend body against infection. Digestive, mouth, tongue, teeth, salivary glands, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, small and large intestines. Receive, break down, and absorb food, eliminate unabsorbed material. Respiratory, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, lungs. Control intake and output of air. Exchange gases between air and blood. Urinary, kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder, urethra. Remove waste from blood. Maintain water and electrolyte balance. Store and transport urine. Reproductive organ system, major organs. In the males, scrotum, testes, epididymides, vas deferens, seminal vesicles, prostate, bulbourethral glands, urethra, and penis. Produce and maintain sperm cells, transfer sperm cells into female reproductive tract, secrete male hormones. Reproductive, female, ovaries, uterine, fallopian tubes, uterus, vagina, vulva. Produce and maintain egg cells, receive sperm cells, support development of an embryo. Function in birth process, secrete female hormones. Organ systems. An organ system is a group of organs with a specific, collective function. Such as digestion, circulation, or respiration. For example, the nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, and bronchi work together to achieve the total function of respiration. The body has 11 organ systems, like shown, okay? The muscle and skeleton can be considered one organ system, the musculoskeletal system. All your organ systems work together to ensure that your body's internal environment remains relatively constant. This process is called homeostasis. For example, your digestive, respiratory, and circulatory organ systems work together so that every cell in your body receives adequate nutrients and oxygen. Every cell in your body receives adequate nutrients and oxygen. And B, waste products from the breakdown of these nutrients during cell metabolism are removed. Okay. Your cells can then function normally. Disease affecting an organ or organ system disrupts this game plan of homeostasis. Cardiovascular are pertaining to heart, vascular, blood vessel. Pertaining to the heart and blood vessels. Digestive. Nature of digest to break down. Pertaining to the breakdown of food into elements suitable for cell metabolism. Endocrine. Endo, within. endocrine secrete, pertaining to a gland that produces an internal or hormonal secretion. Homeostasis. Stasis meaning standstill, control, and homeo is the same. Stability or equilibrium of a system or the body's internal environment. Hemostasis is very different. Integumentary. Integumentary. Airy pertaining to integuments covering the body. Pertaining to the covering of the body, the skin. Lymphatic. Attic meaning pertaining to lymph, meaning lymph. Pertaining to lymph or the lymphatic system. Muscular. R is pertaining to muscle, meaning muscle. Pertaining to muscle or muscles. Nervous, Latin nerve, Greek instrument. No, nervous, Latin meaning nerve, pertaining to a nerve. Organ, Greek for instrument. Structure with specific functions in a body. Reproductive. If is the nature of and pertaining to. Re is again. Product is lend forth. Relating to the process by which organisms produce offspring. Respiratory, Latin for breathing, relating to the process of exchanging oxygen and carbon dioxide. Skeletal, Al is pertaining to skeleton. Pertaining to the bony skeleton. Urinary, airy meaning pertaining to urine, meaning urine, pertaining to urine. Okay, here's a test. Checkpoint. What are you looking for?